Good evening, welcome. It's F2 League. It is time for round 6 from Imola. As you can see, usual rules apply. One shot qualifying, and we have the 13-lap sprint race and an 18-lap feature race tonight. So plenty to be doing. Imola it's typical of an Italian track. Loads of chicanes, obviously. Italians love a chicane, but it's very different to Monza in as much as lots of elevation changes. I'd say it's a bit more technical overall than Monza as well. Not a lot of room for error, and we'll see how everyone gets on when we get started very shortly. 8 in the lobby already, so people really on it tonight, which is good. It's good to see people on time. I don't know exactly who we're waiting for, by the way. I can just have a look, actually. There we go. Just trying to find who we're waiting on. Githanos and Nade. So there we go. 10 drivers tonight, which is actually perfect in terms of the qualifying into the sprint race, because we'll have an upside down grid for the sprint race. So qualifying 10th, you're going to start on pole in the sprint race, but then in the feature race, where it's a longer race and there's more points available, you're going to start where you actually qualified. As for good evening, Mr. Ice One. Hope you are well. It's nice to see you. Just waiting on these two slackers, Nade and Giathanos. Imola could see rain tonight, which I guess maybe kind of don't want to see. And it's quite easy to get time penalties around here as well. Bit of an awkward one. And my microphone is my volume is way too loud, so we just turn that down a little bit. It's a good lineup tonight. Difficult to pick a winner, to be honest. I think Ice One will be looking to try and win this race tonight. Obviously, it's a different dynamic when it actually is. It's stupid. I can see if people are really going all out in qualifying, because it's a one shot, you get 4, maybe 5 people just invalidating their lap times. It really is possible around here. It's one of the worst. It's up there with Austria in terms of track limits. But as I say, I think if Reese is here, I think there's a different dynamic. He's very dominant in this league, but he's still not here, which is a shame. We want to see Reese back as soon as possible. I wonder if these two slackers are going to come in. It's a minute past the time. I guess we give them a couple of minutes leeway. You never know. good night for the MPs and Prima if the lobby doesn't, if the extra drivers don't come in, because it's really good for them in terms of the constructors. Only also the Tridents, as you can see as well. I missed those. So in what is quite a close constructors championship right now, this race could be quite important in terms of the season. Here's Nade anyway. Better late than never, and we're just waiting on Githanos now. I don't know if he's replied. Let's check the chat quickly. Yeah, I'm all good, Aidan, by the way, yeah. He might come in later, Githanos. There is that possibility, obviously. He probably missed the sprint race. But the feature race, you can always get in. You just start at the back of the grid, which isn't a massive deal. Everybody, as you see, starting to ready up. We're almost good to go. I tend to find Imola is not really one of the favourites in terms of drivers from their perspective. I don't particularly mind it. It's okay. There's a couple of like dodgy bits to the track, as we'll see as we go through qualifying and the sprint race. I'll point you out where I believe is the difficult, really awkward, just finicky, annoying parts of the track. Some people will just say, yeah, from the start finish line to the start finish line. But as I say, I'm all right with Imola. I'm probably a bigger fan of Imola than I am Monza. That's a controversial statement in the Formula One community, but yeah, I feel that way. I prefer a more technical track. Here we go then. Straight. Oh, that is torrential rain. That's full wet tyres as far as I'm concerned. There, or it appears to be full wet tyres. That's going to be very interesting for qualifying. Not surprising here at Imola that the conditions are as we can see them. Hopefully that doesn't last for the racers. Don't mind mixed conditions, but a full, like, proper stormy condition race, it kind of takes away from the spectacle at any track, not just here at Imola. Mixed conditions are good because you've got a tiny pit stop and there's a lot that can go wrong. All right. So here we are then. We're with Bucco, and we'll quickly get the lap data and the track map. So, looking for the start-finish line. Under normal circumstances, very good overtaking spot here into turn one. The DRS. Look at that, struggling to even get round here. Bucco, Nade has already invalidated his lap. We were thinking there were going to be a lot of invalidations, and that was in the dry, so in the wet the conditions are so much more difficult, as you can see. Really just trying to get around. It is possible that people have got a dry setup on, depending on the weather report for both races, which will make this qualifying session even more difficult. Into sector 2 then, up the hill. I like this sector, it's very nice. Double left-hander, then down the hill into sweeping right-hander. And then another right-hander, which is This is a very, very awkward corner. Especially if you're using manual traction control. You can spin out there. And yeah, that's kind of what Bucko did, but I don't think he's going to invalidate, so we'll stay with him. There's no point changing there. We've got a chicane here at the end of sector 2. Very, very difficult. Easy to invalidate there, and easy to get track limits. You see Bucko really struggling to keep this car underneath him. My guess would be that he's using a dry setup. Down into the final 2 corners. Not proper corners, not just kinks in the road. See double left-hander. Pit lane entry to the right. There we go. Over the start-finish line. A slow lap, but expected in these conditions, and obviously if drivers are using a dry setup. There you go. Thank you, Bucko, for the lap round, giving us a good view of the circuit and what it entails. There's qualifying anyway, so we've got Quinton at the front, followed by Craig, Pandaman Gaming, Dreamer, Ice One, bang in the middle, and then we've got Aiden, Bucko, and Immortal and Nade. So for the sprint race, the front row will be Nade, then Immortal, and that'll be Bucko, Aiden, Ice One, Dreamer, etc., etc. There is a strategy of, if this is a track or any track that you really, really hate, you're really not confident in terms of your time, is to qualify in 10th. At least you'll start at the front and give yourself some time to defend rather than be chasing during the sprint race. Wet weather again for the sprint. Looks like the rain has abated. It probably means intermediate tyres. Of course, we'll have to see about that. It doesn't look too heavy, the rain. It looks okay, manageable. But again, if the feature race is dry, then it's quite possible that people are using dry setups in a wet race. We're all underway though, and as we can see, everyone's just getting away nice and clean. It's full wet tyres still, which is rather surprising. Oh, there's people in the wall. What's going on here? That's Nade in the wall. This has been a bit of a messy start, and in these conditions, I'm not surprised. It's the 2 MP Motorsport drivers that have got out in front. Pandaman Gaming and Aiden. And you see there, Immortal really struggling. These mini tanks that are F2 cars. Oh, look at that. I think that's Bucko throwing the back end out and almost losing control. Ice One with a good start up to 3rd position. Of course, no DRS in these conditions, so purely on your pace and your driving skill. This is the battle for 8th position between Bucko and Nade, and just in front you can see Immortal and Dreamer, so these 4 really close together. Nade has just gone through. I know it's difficult to see through the spray, but there he is in 8th position. Up to the battle for 2nd then, and you see a little bit of a gap opening between Ice One and Craig. Craig's going to have to be careful. He's got Quinton behind, closing the gap. And you see Ice One within a second of Aiden. It is going to be difficult to overtake in these conditions. You're going to have to take risks if you want to make a pass. You see Bucko's come into the pits. I wonder if that was side by side. There they are. It's actually it's Dreamer and Immortal. Really going for it. You see, just in front of these guys, oh, well, I say just in front, 3.5 seconds the gap. Quinton really pushing Craig hard here to get into 4th position. Ice One's still doing well on the back, right on the back of Aiden there. The question is, for these drivers, where do they overtake? In these conditions, no DRS2. I guess you try and keep it as clean as possible and wait for a mistake. These 4. Whoa, you heard the tyre squeal there. It does seem like they're moving a bit of the moisture off the track, but I'm not sure there's enough drivers and enough time for us to be thinking about intermediate tyres for this race. We'll have to, because it's a sprint race, the time that you lose in the pits, remember this is F2, where you lose more time pitting in because you haven't got as many mechanics, to change the tyres. It might not be worth the change, even if the crossover is there. Still with this chasing pack, you see Nader's done a good job here in catching his teammate Immortal. I don't suppose that they'll be battling like really hard against each other, being teammates. They want to optimise their positions. Quinton got very, very close there, just unable to pass though. You see in front, Ice One is as close as he can be without passing. Aiden, even though he's... Oh, is that a mistake from Craig? I think it is. Quinton's gone through into 4th position. Yeah, Craig's just running wide there on the right-hander, and that's not helped him. He's dropped to 5th. See, right on the back of the 4 in front, but 3 in front, but lost a position. And that's what I was saying earlier. Maybe you just keep it clean and capitalise on mistakes of others. Dreamer's managed to get on the back of this this battle here, all within a second of the car in front. But yeah, Aiden, he's slowing the pack down, not intentionally, I don't believe, but he knows that it's going to be difficult to pass. Although Ice One's having a look. It's one thing having a look, it's another thing being able to actually get through in these conditions, and he's not able to do so. See, the spray seems to be less than it was before. Ice One's going to have a look down the inside here. No, he's not quite. He's decided not to go for it. He has got Quentin, his teammate, right behind. He probably could do with getting through as quickly as possible, and then try and help his teammate get through. Nade up to 7th position. He's got a big gap though to 6th. See them coming over the hill here. Again, very, very close. No mistake there. That awkward second right-hander up the hill. I think it's the change in G-force because of the change of elevation and direction. It makes it a very difficult corner. Ice One just running a little bit wide there. These guys getting into a little bit of a rhythm where they're not close enough for the pass. So just biding their time, which is a legitimate strategy, to be fair. As I mentioned previously, the strategy of waiting for somebody else to make a mistake is is definitely on in these sort of conditions. Looking a little bit drier. Let's just get on board with Dreamer right now. Seems like the rain has slowed slightly. Not as heavy as before. And you can see kind of a racing line being being developed on the track as Quinten goes up into fourth position, but third position, but loses out again. And Ice One ran very wide there. It's giving Craig a chance to close the gap. Aiden doing a superb job here in second position, by the way. Holding everyone off. Dreamer's really close to the back of Craig. They're going to be side by side. Dreamer has made the pass. And Craig is the first driver to receive a 3-second time penalty. And just after that, Nade gets 3 seconds too. Nade's absolutely flying, by the way. Gap was over 8 seconds, now down to 5. It's a shame he got that penalty. These two have just dropped back ever so slightly from their battle. And right now it's Aiden being chased by the two teammates of Quinten and Ice One. Looking very much like intermediate conditions to me, but that's just from the view that I have. And lap 6 of 13, I don't think you're going to gain that much time back. Where even if the intermediates are the superior tyre, the pit stop's going to cost you more time. So Bucko with a couple of 3 seconds there, quite close to one another. Must have been struggling there. Pandaman Gaming has been disconnected from the session. This means these guys should really close the gap very quickly. You see the gap gone from over 13 seconds now 12.7, 12.5. So yeah, this lead, if Pandaman can't get back in the lobby, is going to be eaten up in just a couple of laps. In fact, I'm just going to check. I don't think he has me added. No, I've got King Panda. Don't have Pandaman Gaming, so I can't do him any favours and invite him back. As you see, for the first time, Aiden's struggling a little bit. Quinten got through. And Ice One's now looking to make a move. Right on the back. Oh, that was a big bit of contact there. Ice One's going to try and go around the outside. Dreamer's looking to make a pass as well. Quinten now trying to pull away as quickly as possible. Bucko is out of the session. And I don't think we're going to see a safety car though, so that's good. Yeah, no safety car. Aiden already almost a second behind Quinten now, and so that puts the pressure on these guys. They've got to get through as quickly as possible. Ice One's very close. Oh, he's struggling for traction a little bit there. He's just about managed to keep that under control. He's done well there. Could have been a disastrous exit to the corner. Fortunately, still going. Aiden's done a phenomenal job of holding everyone up for as long as possible, but now it looks like we're getting a little bit more impatient. You can see he's got 3 cars directly behind him. Craig just dropped back a little bit there. A bit of oversteer, I believe. Ice One really trying to go down the outside, taking as much out of the track as possible. I can't invite you back because you don't have me added on F1. If you add me, I might be able to accept you. I'll see what I can do. I don't think I've got him added. We'll see. I'm pretty sure. No, I don't. Yeah, you're gonna have to add me, and then I'll be able to accept your request and then invite you to the lobby. As you see, Ice One now overtaken by Dreamer, and Aiden's pulled out a little bit of a gap. Which is rapidly closed by Dreamer, by the way. Back to the front now, and as you can see, out of the session, ghosted. Place is lost by Pandaman Gaming, who I was just explaining to that he's got to add me, and once he's added me, just let me know, and I'll try and add him back. But this is why you should have me added before the race starts, in case of something like this happening. What a battle from 3rd down to 7th though, and before long it's going to be 2nd to 7th. Definitely intermediate conditions right now. You see the rain just spitting as we're on board with Ice One. We saw Dreamer going through on Aiden, so Dreamer up to 3rd and rapidly closing the gap on what is now an AI Pandaman Gaming. Dreamer up to 2nd. Yeah, Pandaman's going to lose out big time here. He's going to be finishing well down, possibly even in the final position possible. Let's just check the tyres for a second. No, Immortal is on the wet tyre. I thought maybe he pitted in for an intermediate tyre. Quinton has actually pulled out a huge gap now, as Nade gets another 3 seconds. By the way, Nade up to 4th position on track after what looked to be a disastrous start. It was definitely a disastrous qualifying session. He's done really well there to come back, give himself a chance, at least on track, of a podium. See these three very close now. Aiden, Nade and Ice One. Ice One has had a few moments, should we say, in these conditions, but we'll be looking to capitalise on these final few laps. On lap 10 now with 13, and Quinton's just pulled away and is looking really solid. Really solid for the win. It's looking like an insurmountable lead that he's got, and we'll see if that is the case in conditions with the wrong tyre for the conditions. Anything could happen. As Nade now putting the pressure on. Looks like he's going to get through. He has got through on Aiden. Really well done. Nade, third on track, of course, needs to get a move on, really, because of those 6 seconds of penalties. Still technically in 5th position. Ice One has had all sorts of problems with Aiden here in this race, and it's really cost him. If he could have gotten through earlier, he would be he could have had a real chance at a race win, but yeah, just struggled to get through. Now collects 3 seconds of penalties, which means Nade doesn't have to open as much of a gap on Ice One to negate his 6 seconds. Maybe a little bit of impatience here from Ice One being shown. It wouldn't surprise me, a little bit frustrated, not been able to make the pass and make it stick. Of course, it has to be said once again, the conditions are not good for these full wet tyres. The start of the race, even at the start, I thought maybe it was an intermediate race, but certainly here at the finish, got a fantastic run this time, but still just runs out of road before he can make the pass, and that's frustrating for him. Another 3 seconds for Nade though is very, very costly. Aiden has a real chance of a podium here, that's for sure. We are just 1 lap away from the final lap of the race, so penultimate lap, and if Aiden can just stay in front here of Ice One, in fact just stay within 3 seconds of Ice One and 6 seconds of Nade, we'll get a podium, and a very good one, that's for sure. The thing that Ice One's got to do now is he's got to compromise the entry into this final corner to get a better exit. I see that as the only way you can get a run into turn 1. Let's see then. Really pushing hard. I think he might be too far back again. And this is lap 13 of 13, so there's not going to be many more opportunities. Yeah, very, very difficult. It's been a fantastic battle between these two, the whole race in fairness. They've both been very clean and also been very, very competitive. It just looks like Ice One's going to run out of laps here. Unless he can pull something spectacular out here on lap 13. We'll find out momentarily, I guess. Meanwhile, Quinton has absolutely dominated. Since he got through on Aiden, he's managed to really put his foot down. Very unfortunate for Pandaman Gaming, who have this race under control. But here we go, Ice One. Is he going to try and send it around the outside? Oh, ooh. See what he tried there, but obviously the tyres are not doing him any favours. He has got a really good exit here out of the chicane. Side by side, he's going off the track as much as possible to get a good line. Quinton has gone over the line in first position. We're going to stick with these until the end here. Let's see. Oh, are they going to be side to side? You can see Ice One so close. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. No, Aiden is going to take third position. Ice One going to hold fifth. Not able to get close enough to Nade with the penalties. There's Craig over the line. Just Pandaman Gaming and Immortal to come. We know Pandaman is currently, as you can see, he's currently ghosted because he's an AI driver. But that's it. That's the end of the sprint race as Immortal comes over the line. What a race that was! A very good race considering the weather conditions. That's for sure. Quinton though takes the race win in the sprint. Will be buoyed by that result, I'm sure. A little bit of controversy in the chat right now between Nade and Bucko. Both accusing each other of putting the other one in the wall. That'll be all resolved after the race is finished, of course. But we are going to get ready for the sprint. For the feature race, sorry, not the sprint. What am I going on about? And we'll see whether Pandaman can stay in for the whole race. He's definitely got a chance of winning. That's for sure. There's my cat. Hi, Tails. Hey. Dry race then, and that would explain the struggles with traction. That's for sure. Everybody just getting their setups ready. The fact that we've had a wet qualifying and wet sprint race might make this a bit awkward too, because obviously you're going a lot faster into corners. Your braking zones are very much different. So we'll have to see if that makes a difference in the race. Here we are then, underway, and it will be Quinton at the front, and that's a decent start for the fair, a very decent start. A lot cleaner this time round. Everybody getting around nice and safely, which is good to see. Let's just check the tyres right now. Everybody running the super softs. And we've got a VSC already. That's Bucko at the back, I do believe. Let's see what happened there. No front wing, that's kind of impressive in these cars. They are very sturdy. Everybody coming up the hill. Not a full safety car though, just a VSC. And sure we'll get green flags and we'll be back racing momentarily, very soon. See people in the background there just warming their tyres up. With the super softs, I'm not sure that that's entirely necessary. They will warm up very quickly. Everyone on the same, or a very similar strategy today. As you see, with everyone starting on the same tyre compound, I think the difference will only be a lap or two in terms of when they stop. As you see, back racing, Dreamer's making a move here, and look how close they are. Dreamer has made the pass, so Quinton down into second position. Top 5 all very close to each other, and Aiden, actually the top 8, 9 cars even, but Bucko now has got that, he's gone into the pits, I believe. Let's check it is Bucko. Yeah, look, you can see it takes a long while, especially if you've got a front wing change to get in and out of the pits. See what tyres he's put on. He's put on a medium, so probably going to try and take those the whole race, and that makes sense. Still 10 seconds of penalty. I guess he could take that and come back in the pits. Oh, a little touch from Quinton on Dreamer, who's dropped down to 4th position because of that. As the ice one completely off the track, not taking any risk getting too close. Yeah, another VSC, by the way. Is that Bucko again? Is he really struggling here? Once again, no front wing. I'm going to assume that, yeah, and he's binned it into a wall, which is not what we like to see. I would assume that was because of the turn 1 and 2, the chicanes. Not really necessary to do that though. We're going to do that, just retire in the pits, and then we don't get a VSC that slows everything down. But apart from that, very, very close race so far. When DRS is enabled, easy for me to say, this is going to be a mad scramble. Not a fan of the camera angles here at Imola, that's one thing I can say. Very close in, you can't see a lot of the action. DRS enabled now, and back racing, green flags. Good start from Quinton. I think he had a bit of time in hand there on the delta, so allowed him to just pull away ever so slightly. If he can gap Craig by the time we get to the DRS detection zones, that will make things much more difficult for everyone behind. And it looks like he has done, and he's done it quite well. Ice one once again looking to pass. He's going to have a bit of an easier time of it this time, because he's going to have DRS, so that's going to make a big difference. Just a 1 DRS zone here at Imola, and it's here on the start-finish straight. Ice one is going to go through. You see Dreamer, oh my word, Dreamer's up to there. Look at that. Keep it pointed in a straight line, mate. And Craig's he's lost out big time there. Dreamer is really struggling to keep the car beneath him. Nade into 6th position. You see, it's such a close, tight battle. But while this is all happening, that's advantage to Quinton, because these are all going to slow each other down. Quinton's got that clear air. Teammates though, 1 and 2. We saw that in the last race with Aiden and Panda. But this race, it's Quinton and Ice One. Of course, more points available during the feature race. Look at that, Ice One really trying to get Panda Man. That's going to be the difficult one Craig gets 3 seconds for multiple warnings. Doing a good job though, Ice One. I don't think he's quite... Yeah, that's about where the DRS detection line is. So, didn't manage to get enough of a gap. I don't think. I think we'll see Pandaman Gaming with DRS. Yes. Dreamer again though, really pushing it, taking that inside line, and he's managed to get through into 3rd position. So really well done. And that's a really nice pass. Both of them have DRS. Look a little bit further back. This is the battle between Aidan and Craig. These have dropped back a little bit from the chasing pack, and having a really good battle there for 6th position. Let's ride on board with Pandaman Gaming, who's currently with Nade, not Pandaman Gaming, who's currently running 5th. You can see the gap between himself, Pandaman, Dreamer, and Ice One. He's very close. Ice One needs to try and really stretch this pack out, get people dropping off, because then he'll be more secure of a podium finish. Don't have the longest amount of time to do so. Dreamer running really wide there on the exit of the chicane, the start of sector 3. That's a lot closer this time round. Ooh, look at the oversteer there from Nave. Pandaman Gaming has gone through. Dreamer's actually pitted in. That'll be why. And we're down to 3 battling for 2 podium positions. Pandaman Gaming is really close. Battle for 5th now between Aidan and Craig as Aidan goes through. I think Dreamer might be looking for the undercut right now, which makes sense to me, because if you're struggling on the tyre, try and go long in your 2nd stint and then make the undercut. It's not a terrible idea, to be fair. And just dropping back 8/10. Up to Pandaman Gaming, who's a little bit closer to Ice One. Remember, he's going to have the DRS coming out of the final corner. I do imagine that some people will pit at the end of this lap, about a 1/3 of the way through the race. I don't think we can go too long on the super softs. And there is going to be a massive drop-off when they do start to really fall off in terms of performance. And you can see Pandaman Gaming has decided to come in. Quinton's in the pits. That means we've got a new race leader in Ice One. Oh, Nade with a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's you never want to see that. Take your time. Go a bit slower into the pit lane. You're going to lose what, 3-4 tenths rather than 10 seconds. I've never understood it. I've never been able to wrap my head around why people would do that. So let's look at Dreamer then, who's currently running in last position. Remember, his tyres are going to be up to temperature. Everyone putting on the mediums. Up into 5th then, Dreamer. Those in front still to pit. 3 seconds though for Dreamer's going to be costly. Quinton looking very strong as pitted in. Pandaman Gaming is going to be looking to close the gap as soon as possible, but going to have to contend with Nade for the time being. Here we go. Nade is really putting the pressure on, and it's not allowing Pandaman Gaming to fully focus on attacking, and that's a big disadvantage. he does have those 10 seconds, which, as I say, for speeding in the pit lane is something you shouldn't really be doing. Just take the 4/10 and lose the 4/10 rather than a 10-second penalty. Ooh, look at that. Really slinging it around that corner, Panda Man, but he is losing a lot of time. Everything's just reorganising as we've got drivers in the pits, of course. So Quinton is up into first position, followed by Dreamer, who's in second, and has got a 1.7 lead over Ice One. So that undercut was a smart play, certainly at the time. We'll have to see over the course of the race that we've got remaining whether it is. Panda Man taking a 3-second penalty side by side here with Nade, has managed to go down the inside and has taken 4th position. Another big thing for me is not to take any time penalties if you possibly are able to, because it can cost you places, or if you don't get any, it can gain you places at the end of a race. And that's Ice One running really wide there. That's Panda Man and Nade into play in terms of an overtake. Not sure if Nade made it over the DRS detection line with less than a second gap. He did, just about. That must have been very close. But here we see Panda Man Gaming. This is a very long DRS sector and makes a pass pretty easily. There's not a lot you can do. It's a bit like Belgium at the Kemmel Straight, where if someone's behind you and has got that DRS, there's not much you can do to defend. So once again, Panda Man Gaming trying to chase down Dreamer. He's going to have to try and gap Ice One as well, which he's doing a decent job of, in fairness. And then to start to pull away and try and make a 3-second gap. Although he has run really wide. Ice One's run wide again, which gives Ice One a 3-second penalty. So any advantage Ice One had from not having a penalty is just gone with that slight error. Still very close at the front. There we can see Dreamer. And out in the middle of the screen there, just down the road, that is Quinton, who has not managed to really pull away. Dreamer's pit stop was timed very well. Quinton has put in the fastest lap of the race. Panda Man has taken that off him though. Let's see, get on board with Nade. He's going to try and make a move on Ice One. Ice One does have DRS, so he's going to need to defend. There we go. It's a big battle now for a final podium spot. Don't think Nade's in it just because of the amount of penalties he's incurred, but he'll certainly be looking to try and get 3rd position on the track. He's also pulling away from Aiden in 6th position, so if he can keep doing that, he will hold 5th. He's currently running in 6th position because of Aiden not having any penalties whatsoever, and that's probably going to mean Aiden's going to get a penalty just because I've said he hasn't got one. But we'll see if he can pull out a 10-second gap. He's definitely got time. He's pulling away, and Aiden's obviously kind of occupied as well because he's got Craig pushing behind him. So definitely there to be had, the 10-second gap. Ice One, good run out of the final corner there. DRS is putting the fastest lap of the race, which is really helping. You can see Pandaman trying to defend. It's an impossible job. He was just slightly too far back. Otherwise, Pandaman would have been in real danger of being passed twice on the same straight. Still Dreamer really close to Clinton. If he gets within a second, we'll switch to that battle. Currently on board with Nade. He's running 5th. He's in a very good battle himself with Pandaman Gaming and the Ice One. The final podium spot. Oh, another 3 seconds for Ice One is very, very costly at this stage of the race. Has struggled with track limits. To be fair, it's an easy circuit to struggle with the track limits, and it's just so easy just to overdo it ever so slightly. Nade has a decent run out of the last corner here. I've got DRS, we can sit back and see that rear wing is open. Still not quite close enough. He needs to be the one, he needs to make a pass on someone. Otherwise he's going to be stuck here behind 2 cars for the rest of the race. Let's go down to the battle between Aiden and Craig. Here's Craig, you can see second behind. It has been a very hard fought battle between these two. Craig with a massive disadvantage though, 16 seconds worth of penalties. So that would be 2 track limit 3-second penalties, and I guess the 10 was for speeding in the pit lane again. I say it all the time, you can't do it. It's a huge L doing it, to be honest. Just take the as I say, take the 3/4 penalty. As Nade has gone up to 3rd position, we've just seen there, he passed both Aiden, he's already passed Aiden, what am I talking about? Gone past Pandaman and Ice One. That's a very, very impressive pass. Now he's going to have to defend though, unless he it was well before the DRS line, so he's going to be under pressure. Ice One's got Pandaman's gone through, not Ice One. Ice One is going to get through, or is he? It's going to be close. No, he's not managed to get through yet. Battle for 3rd position all race. Really good. Dreamer's got the gap down to 1.1. He's getting really close now. And Immortal has retired from the session in the pits though, so don't think we'll see a safety car, which is good. We don't want to see safety cars. We want to just see racing, of course. I'm sure nobody with a penalty will want to see a safety car at this stage. Aiden be up into 2nd, just because of how close everyone is. Into the double left-hander then. DRS again. Not sure the Ice One's close enough. We know that Nade's going to have DRS as well, so it just makes things a little bit more difficult. Start lap 14, and it is Nade going through here on Pandaman Gaming. Ice One not able to get close enough. Excuse me, he needs to be a lot tighter to the back of the car in front. Coming out of that last corner. tyres are holding on. It's going to be interesting to see. I know they're only a couple of laps older, but how Dreamer's tyres hold on till the end. There is, as we know, there is a point with all tyre compounds that it will just drop off if you go too long. He has got a comfortable lead right now over Nave for second position, so he's okay, but if the tyres fall off for him, which they will, if they're going to fall off for anyone, it is him because he went on first. If they do, and he makes a mistake, that gap's going to be non-existent. No DRS for anyone. Aiden's managed to pull away from Craig too. So we can go up to first position and look at Quinton, who's looked very, very much in a class of his own. And during this feature race and during the sprint, he had an outstanding effort. Not long to go before he can take the checkered flag. Just have to stay switched on. Yes, Dreamer's got 3 seconds of penalties, but just takes one dodgy corner and then he has 3 seconds as well, and it gets a bit squeaky bum time for him. And another 3 seconds for Pandaman Gaming. It's helping Nade. Nade has managed to get a gap between himself and Pandaman Gaming. No DRS, so that's going to be important, because it means if he has got the pace, the raw pace, we'll be able to pull away. He cannot afford to give Pandaman Gaming any DRS though. Dreamer 1.2 back from Quinton, and Ice one with another 3 seconds. 9 seconds, that's currently putting behind Aiden. A bit of a disaster. Pandaman Gaming doesn't have DRS, but I'll tell you what, he has managed to get pretty close. The gap less than a second again. We're back on board with Pandaman. There's the 3 seconds for Quinton. Imola is one of those tracks. So it is a genuine 1.2 second gap. That might give Dreamer a little bit of a confidence boost. And might make him just try and push to get an extra 2-3%. Get into DRS, and you never know. Nade gets another 3 seconds, that's going to be costly. 13 seconds of penalty. But the thing is, that's his first actual track limit penalty, the 10 seconds he got. That's what's going to cost him. Don't speed in the pit lane. Dreamer's on 6 seconds now. So the gap back to what it was. Aiden keeping it clean here. Does have a good chance of moving up a couple of positions. That's 17 then. I think if you're going to make a pass, you've got to do it on this lap. Dreamer goes up to him in second position. You can see he's very close. He's just not quite been able to get within a second. Quinton's very much dictated the pace of this race from the front. Every time Quinton's got a bit closer, he's reacted and managed to keep the gap at an honest 1.2, 3 or 5 seconds. Fantastic race though from Dreamer. With that early pit stop, with the undercut, has managed to make second position very clear for himself. You have to respect that. Some top strategy from the man here. Ice one now has got really close to Pandaman Gaming. This could be a pass going into the final lap of the race. You can see Pandaman's going to struggle to defend. He doesn't have DRS himself. He has dropped quite far back from Nade, although he does realise, I assume, that he has a 7-second gap that he could, that could be made between himself and Nade, and he'd still get a podium. Here comes Ice One then. DRS enabled. Is he going to run out of road? Oh wow, Ice One into the wall. Oh, definite wing damage, as you saw. Yep, front left end plate. He's going to struggle to get round, and that could be very, very costly. Back to the front then. This is the final lap. You see Quinton again, just doing enough to stay out of DRS range of Dreamer. He's been the superior driver over all 3 sessions. Of course, qualifying on pole position, leading this race, winning the sprint race, although yes, that could definitely be down to Pandaman's disconnection in the sprint race, but you take your luck and you take your opportunities when you can, and he has done that. And because he's done that, he's going to come over the line in first position in this feature race. There you go. Dreamer second, a very, very good showing. Here comes Nade. Going to come over the line in third, but not going to finish third. That honour is going to go to Pandaman Gaming for sure. Just waiting for Ice One to come round here. Not managing to make up any positions. You see Aiden up to 4th, and everybody over the line. Really good from Aiden there. No penalties, and you saw that went up from 6th to 4th at the end there, just by being clean, and that can't be overstated. So that will be it for our F2 race. I won't be staying on for long afterwards. I'm quite tired, actually, tonight. But there we see Quinton taking the top step. Lots of trophies this weekend. Very, very... I say weekend, obviously it's Wednesday. I mean weekend as in race weekend. But yeah, very good. Very good 3 sessions. Confidence boost. There you see. Lots of points being accumulated. Good overall night for the Prima Racing team. Very good for the MPs again. And fastest lap there, Ice One. His fast lap that we saw ended up being the fastest lap of the race. So impressive stuff there. Overall though, Quinton was just far superior tonight, and that's fair enough. So the calendar, we shall have a quick look. Race 7 next week, of course, is Spain, and that'll be the same time next week. We also have on Sunday at 7 PM UK, we have the Formula One League, which is it's been a really good season so far. We've got race 8 in that league. If you watched last Sunday, that was a bit of a mental race. We had the old reverse grid, which we do in the league once a season. As far as the weekend calendar goes, by the way, we've got China, which is very good for overtaking. But aside from that, I'd like to thank everyone for watching the stream, whether it be live, whether you tuned in for a minute or the whole thing, or whether it be after the fact. Thank you very much. I'd thank Ice One, as always, for bringing me in to the league as commentator. and the boss man himself, Ace, who hasn't raced tonight, but I know he's out there somewhere watching. I'd like to thank him for keeping me as a commentator for so long. It's always a pleasure. And yeah, we'll see you on Sunday for the Formula One.